Werte Seitengemeinde, wir sind heute mal wieder im Backstage und heute mit dem Main Backliner von den Backyard Babies, Johann, unterwegs. Johann, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And you're going to show us the guitars of the guys of Nicke and Dregen, right? So what are we going to start with? Oh, my English.
We can start with Nicke's guitars. His main guitar, two main guitars are these two. A Gretsch.
Could we, yeah, right, get them out real quick, that'd be...
Look at this.
Beautiful. What pickups are those?
Oh, I actually don't know.
That's
It
looks.
Ask me how they.
It looks like the standard pickups, I suppose. You know, probably
from Gretsch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, are they changing a lot about their guitars, or is it?
No, it's all of them are standard.
Okay. So no modifications being done. You know, they just buy them like the way they are and leave it.
Dragen's artwork, and
Okay.
if we jump to his guitars,
Yeah.
ES335s, it's stuffed with fabrics and they are custom made.
Beautiful.
But
Did he do it? Do this himself, or has he like an artist?
No, it's an artist done it. Actually, I don't know the name of the artist, but we can.
Okay. What is this? Is the guitar filled with what?
Fabric, so it doesn't
Resonate too much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. I mean, he could just switch to like a solid body, but it's it's about the looks, I guess, right? Yeah. I mean, I get that, you know.
And the feeling.
How about the SG? Who's playing the SG?
That's Nicke. He used it in 2 songs, I guess, on this set list. Yeah.
Can we get that out real quick too? You know, our viewers love to see. That's nice too. It's all like not custom, but default settings, right? Okay. Do you know what string gouges they use?
Yeah, they use. How do I pronounce it? Dregen.
No, I meant the thickness of the. Oh yeah. Okay.
And Nicke is using 11 to 49.
All right.
And Dregen is using 10 to 46.
But they play like in D standard, or right?
No, they play 1/2 down from E.
Okay.
Yeah.
Half a step, but standard, right? Not dropped.
No.
Okay, I see. And well, we need to get is that a PRS? Yeah, the PRS out. Beautiful too, and they all got the Bixby going, man. Like, yeah, beautiful.
It's just a hassle to change the strings.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, but do they stay in tune well? I mean,
Yeah,
or
they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But when you change the strings, it's you don't want to be in a hurry. To do that.
Definitely, yeah. But let's see. I mean, are all the guitars in the same tuning, so they can just switch them? Or
This one is always with capo, and this one goes from capo to non-capo, and this is just opened.
I see. Okay, it's I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose the straps are custom made too, right? I mean,
For Nicke, yeah.
beautiful. That's like actual real heavy material. It's cold. It's like real metal, right? Aluminum or probably, I don't know. Pure silver, obviously.
Pure silver and diamonds.
Sure. And if you don't mind, could we have a closer look on that one? It's ES as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a little worn off already, you know, but makes it rock and roll, I guess.
Main guitar. If nothing happens, he uses this the entire show.
I see. And can you turn it around real quick? Yeah, it's seen some better days, but you know, this is how a guitar has to look, I guess, for the Backyard Babies at least. All right, thanks a lot, man. So that probably covers the guitars. So how about amplifiers, man? That's
Yeah, we can walk over to Dragen's Panzer tank, as I call it.
the Panzer tank. Oh, wow. Wait, is that one cap? No, that's 2 caps.
Yeah, 2 cabins.
And it's kind of does it always stay on here? And you just
It stays in here, and it's a dry-wet system. So all the reverbs goes only into this amp, all the FX, and this one is clean.
Okay, cool. So, but does he usually has both of them running, or just adds this if he needs?
Both running all the time.
I see, and he just controls the delay and the effects like on his board. Then I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And how old are the caps? Are those?
Those are pretty brand new. They're actually like less than a year old.
What microphones are those? I mean, I have.
Now you ask me a question. I don't have an idea.
You're the main backliner, man. I'm so sorry.
Audio-Technica.
Okay, cool.
I have to ask Anders for the number of it.
Do you go? Do you just blast them all the way up, or like?
No,
I should have looked it.
I mean, he doesn't play that loud, I think, in the amps. You can look at the volumes.
Again, because I didn't look,
The master is only like just
Can you
under
can you see?
The master is just under 5.
I see, but enough to get a warm saturation.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice, and the middle's all up. Yeah, see, and that's Dregen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, like with the ES guitars. So how about his pedalboard? That's Dragon's pedalboard, I suppose.
That's Dragon's pedalboard. And you can see he has some of the reverbs and delays and in the send return, and the wow, and of course the tuner in direct, what you call it, direct chain to the amp.
All right, so yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's kind of his splitter box. I see, and well, he doesn't change his pedals too often, right? Because there's a lot of
Yeah, it's taped. The only one changing is this one.
Okay, for what reason? I mean,
it's the delay. So the amount.
he's changing the knobs. I see, but the pedal kind of stays the same. So all these pedals have been on the board for centuries, I'd say.
Yeah. Of course, when they break, we have to change them.
Is there any pedals that break more often than others, or I mean, everything's taped down? This looks like.
Actually, none of the pedals have broken while I've been working with them, but I guess eventually it will happen.
What would you say? Which one is the most important pedal besides the tuning box?
Oh,
hard to say.
He works with all of them. Like people who seen the shows, I mean, you could really hear him working with all the effects and all. So I guess the delay and the wow.
See, that's the answer I was looking for. I mean, I'm torturing you here, right? So okay, let's just hop over to Nicke's amps then.
He's using the Black Star Series 1, 100 watts, but he only uses like 20 watts of it. Because yes. People know the Black Star, the Series 1 series have this power soak sort of built in.
I think, sorry man, I think I got to come over to you. The camera is kind of, okay, yeah, let's do it like this. All right, cool, and both of them...
That's just a spare.
I was going to ask, that's a spare, if that is, how do you say, like, it's dying, yeah. And, but that's just the pedals that run all the time?
No, that's the pedals for the acoustic guitar.
And do you usually run the acoustic guitars right in there too, or no? DI box and.
It's just the DI box. It's just the DI box underneath here. So, yeah, and the acoustic guitar is run through a cable, but not wireless.
Well hidden, gotta say. Okay, and whoa, okay.
Pedal board is
then that's.
Is here, and he doesn't go through any send return. It's just straight guitar into the pedal board. Straight to the amp.
All in, like in the front. Okay, cool. What we got here? Is there like a pedal that is like most special to him? You'd say?
Yeah, the the overdrive, because he doesn't use the overdrive in the head.
Okay, so if that dies, do you bring a spare for that overdrive?
Yeah. I have a spare one. Yeah. So basically, without that, the sound is acoustic.
So, if I may ask, for how long have you been doing the job for, like, being the backliner for the Backyard Babies?
Oh, just this. I did a tour 2 years ago, and I usually travel with another band, so I had to go back with them. And then they asked me just before this spring or after the Christmas, like, could you go with us this spring? And I was free. So yeah, for me it's pretty new.
See, he's got to be a good guy, you know. It's hard to find good backliners, you know, and they asked him back. So, but what I wanted to ask is, I mean, do you know if they changed their pedal configuration over the years a lot, or I mean, obviously the board just stayed for that like forever, but this one looks kind of rather like cleaned up.
Yeah, it's just that Dregen, he wants it to look older, so it's painted to look older than it is. But it doesn't change often. No.
So it's been the same configuration for years, and this is what they stick with.
Yeah, this was the same 2 years ago.
Ah, okay, cool, yeah. Well, Johann, thanks a lot then. That was really nice of you, and have a good concert and a safe tour, I guess. Thanks a lot. Und jetzt kann ich auf Deutsch wieder switchen. Das war's soweit von der Backline. Wir machen natürlich noch ein paar Fotos und das Ganze gibt's noch im Heft zu lesen. Und wenn wir ganz viel Glück haben, dann gibt's nachher noch ein kleines Interview mit den Herren höchstpersönlich. Das übernimmt dann aber mein Kollege Stefan. Bis später, Leute. Ciao. So, jetzt sitzen wir doch noch hier mit dem Dregen, and I was just told it's pronounced differently. Come again, man. How is it in Swedish? I can't do it.
Well, I mean, I say Dregen.
Well, what he says.
No, but you know, like in England, it's more Dregen.
Dregen. So it's Dregen of Backyard Babies, and that's probably the important part. I should
Yes. Yeah.
And we did the rig rundown. You saw that beforehand, and now there's a couple of questions I need to ask you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw you to ES 35s or 33.5? No,
335s.
Right.
Yes,
Thanks
exactly.
a lot, man. And I mean, you've been asked this a lot, but you're stuffing all these like T-shirts in them, right?
But yeah, it's different amount of T-shirts in different guitars, depending on what microphones, you know, kind of guitar mics I have. It's usually, I would say, on my live guitars, it's like 85-90% super distortion DiMarzio.
All right.
In my 335s.
So you updated those, or like changed
Yeah, I
those,
did,
right?
and then I have a Swedish guy called Johann Lundgren pickups.
Oh,
Lundgren picks.
Yeah, sweet.
I have a couple of. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you can know. I think they're called Smooth Operator. I think I have a couple of them, and I have a few others. I bought a pair from Billy Gibbons in CC Top.
Oh, that's something for you, Marcel, our colleague.
Yeah, they actually call BFGs. I think Billy fucking Gibbons. Yeah,
sure.
It's a guy, I think, lives in Norway who makes them.
So all Scandinavian gear except like the guitar being American made, I suppose.
Yeah, but Scandinavian gear sounding like Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But well, you're probably kind of safe on shipping costs. So is there like out of the two we saw before, is there like a favorite one? Like if your house would burn down, God forbid, or like whoever forbid, but if you know, your place would burn down, which one would be the one to bring to grab? And if you could only bring one because your arm is injured or whatnot.
I think that would be. I name all of them got names as well, so that would be White Death. I think.
White Death.
Yeah,
so
it's my first. It's actually my first ES 335.
And that's your main guitar, right?
No, well, I mean, it's in a case at home now, but you know, it's still it's my first love, and kind of like, so that's the only one that has some. Otherwise, it's just fucking wood, you know. I'm pretty, you know, I own a lot of guitar, not a lot of guitars, but I think I have like 20 something 335s.
All right. So that's your model. I mean,
yeah. That's it's the only model I ever played.
Really, but you own a couple different guitars, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I have like Gretsch White Falcon. I have a couple of SGs. I have some Melody Makers. And some, I have some other stuff, mainly Gibson and Gretsch. But you know, like the guitars I'm playing is always Gibson 335.
Yeah. Well, good choice, I gotta say. You know, beautiful look to the guitars, and you know how to make them look cool. You know. So.
Yeah, no, but you know, my first guitar was a Gibson Les Paul.
Right.
I was struggling for years because I was the lead guitar player as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have that small hands though, but it's kind of like you get a big, you know, up on the neck. It's kind of like it's
too chunky.
It's like fucking playing a fucking canoe or something, you know, like it's really big, you know. And the 335 is, you know, like smooth all the way.
Right.
The only thing is, like in the studio, they're kind of like they're a bit tricky with tuning wise in the studio.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like if you actually just lean like that, it can be, they're pretty soft in the neck.
Yeah, the neck band.
Yeah,
okay.
but I also like that. That's the kind of like, they answer good because I play with, not a lot of distortion, but sometimes, with feedback, it's answering, it's kind of like...
Right.
But to answer your question, I don't have like a favorite, I cheat on all my girlfriend guitars. I
Well,
kind of like...
you answered the question up front, so it's got to be the white, white death, right?
But, touring-wise, it's sometimes, you get sick and tired of a guitar, and then I find another one I haven't played for 5 years, and then I play that for a couple of years, and then I get sick and tired of that. And
so this man has 20 really forgiving girlfriends. Isn't that beautiful, man? You gotta be able to manage that, eh? So
it's also my kind of like psychiatrist.
Oh my God! You've got good friends.
Yeah.
So about your pedal board, we took a look on that, and that looks like either from the last century or it survived like a nuclear blast, man. It's stuck like that forever, right? Because like all your knobs are taped down, and there's a lot of it collected a lot of dust and dirt, and it looks super rock and roll. So I suppose you don't really change your settings or pedals at all, or like for a couple of years at least now, right?
No, it's more like...
no offense, please.
No.
No,
but when we were in the studio, that's kind of like all fun and games, and then you're down mixing with different sounds and stuff. But when we record, like when we're ready to go on tour, it's like taped down. Nothing's gonna be changed for 2 years. I just want to,
That's the setting, like that's on the record, and so that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to sound.
I'm fucking around a little bit with the delay pedal sometimes, but I rarely stomp on these boxes.
Okay.
It's only of course the boost pedal, like for lead guitar, and then I play quite a lot of wah-wah pedal, but otherwise the actual effect pedals, maybe here and there, some parts of the songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is there like a favorite pedal? So same question as before, I gotta say. Like,
well, it's gotta be the wah-wah pedal, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what your text said, what kind of proves he knows what he's doing, He said, probably, that's
it's, this is not my favorite though. This one's called, it's a Dunlop Q95, I think it's called, Crybaby.
93 or 95? Yeah, probably 95.
Yeah. But it's kind of, it doesn't have, I prefer the original Crybaby in the studio, where you actually push it on and off.
Yeah.
But it can be pretty wild live, and sometimes you have kind of like monitor, and you step on it, and then you've been playing like with the wah-wah pedal on, Like the Q95 is optical, so as soon as you have your foot on it, it starts working, and when you take your foot off,
so to prevent yelling at your sound guy for no reason, you just go with that one.
Kind of.
All right, and amp-wise, man, we got to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Your text said, well, the amps you're using were quite new, but I suppose there was blues breakers or no?
No, this is I play Fender Hot Rod DeVille.
All right. Okay,
410s, so it's two of them. Yeah.
So, but you've been playing that particular.
I have no offense of. I love guitar players with the Marshall sound when they can do that. I totally fucking suck with the Marshall. I hate playing Marshalls. I don't know why. I just don't suit with Marshall. Right. I always been playing Fender. I don't know what it is. As soon as I plug in a fucking Marshall, I sound like Mick Mars in a fucking wasp nest.
So,
I don't know.
If you're a promoter, really want to piss him off, give him like a Fender Telecaster and a JCM 800, and
he's God. The 800 I can live with.
The Plexi,
presents
all in.
Give me a Marshall 2000. I'm like, am I gonna like fucking play guitar, or are we gonna? Is this a fucking cockpit? Are we gonna fly, or like? I don't know where to start. I need a fucking master volume. I need treble, bass, and middle.
And that's it.
That's it.
Mids all in and all the
Yeah.
rest. Yeah, scoop it out.
So,
right.
and also with always been playing mainly Marshalls. I mean Fenders, but Marshall cabs and stuff before, like 12-inch.
Right.
You know, the standard.
Right.
And it took me almost like 20 years before I realized. But that's why I play 10-inch now.
Right.
Because like on all my heads and stuff, I'm always on 0, almost on the bass.
Well,
always.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I wish that I could
Even
go lower than 0.
These
on
go
the
to
bass.
-11 kind of.
but you know, like, and then when I changed from bigger, from bigger speakers to smaller, it gave me kind of like, now I can have a little bit of bass as well, because it gets like, I don't know, a bit.
Kind of depending on the room, I suppose, too. Right?
Yeah, but it's also with the guitars, because they are kind of like, the 335s are a bit like bassy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a 10-inch suits good. It's like kind of like.
Yeah. It's not killing all the rest.
Yeah.
All right. Anything to add at this point, man?
No, I play 1046 strings.
And you're playing in
73
E flat standard, right?
Yeah,
Right.
always like a half step down, as we say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot then, and have a good concert, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks.
Das war's soweit mit dem Dregen von Backyard Babies, und jetzt unterhalten wir uns noch mit dem Nicke und dann machen wir hier einen Cut und das ganze Gedüse. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.
Ciao.
Jetzt sitzen wir hier mit Nicke von den Backyard Babies, und genauso wie sein Kollege wird er uns jetzt ein bisschen was über seine Gitarren und Amps und Effektpedale erzählen. Nicke, thanks for having us and
you.
taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
So, our pleasure. As we did before, we want to know your guitars. I mean, you brought 3 guitars.
Yes, well, actually 4, but one is lost.
Okay, well, one is lost. We just had that in acoustic guitar, right?
Yeah, my acoustic guitar is still at some warehouse in Sweden. Unfortunately, it's not here in Germany. But yeah.
Oh, you found a
Found
replacement.
some really kind person rent me a Taylor guitar. First time I'm gonna play a Taylor guitar, I think, actually.
They sound great.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
actually did a lot
So
with
yeah,
Taylor
so
lately.
it's no, because we have always had acoustic elements
Right.
in Backyard Babies, and I love to play acoustic guitar. I write most of my stuff on acoustic guitar. On my solo project, it's acoustic based. So I was really pissed when there was one guitar missing. I'm like, I use the Takamine guitars.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Very similar to the Bruce Springsteen line of his guitars, like really like more or less the same guitars.
Great guitars too.
I love them, and I love them because they are so solid.
Yeah.
Live, I use this feedback stopper,
Right.
and I can
It's working horses, man.
play with a full band or just solo my own, like, and it sounds amazing. And also, they're not that expensive.
No, right.
And because I have toured with old fucking Gibson, jumbo models,
Right.
worth like 5,000 euros or something.
Yeah.
Flying to Japan and stuff all over the world, and they're like, you
always
see
like
there's
that.
a hole in the fucking case from something. Just missed the guitar by that, and it could have, well, it's just like so.
Oh my God.
I think it was, I don't know who said it, like never tour with your favorite guitars.
Come again?
Never tour with your favorite guitars.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
or like at least the guitars that you value a lot. Like.
Okay, so of the guitars you brought, there was a Gretsch, right? SG and a Paul Reed Smith. So which one would be, and I asked this question before, if, and God forbid, your house would burn down and you've got one arm, so you can only bring one guitar, which one out of the 3 would be your
Out of these
go-to
3?
guitar? Yeah.
I would probably take the Gretsch.
Yeah.
It's an amazing guitar because I've never been a fan of Gretsch. Always played Gibson. Always started play PRS, and I was in this music store and I was just like really bored, fucking around testing guitars. And this it's like a medium size. It's like it's
Right.
called. Is it? Oh fuck! I should know. Nashville Junior or something.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure what it's called because
my colleague knows about cage. What would that be? The thin.
It's not the big ones, the small ones.
no, yeah, it's like a medium.
model?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Stefan knows. See, he always
See,
knows.
embarrassing.
Double cut.
Ah,
Single
No, it's not a single cut,
cut, right?
but it has the solid thing going through.
Yeah, center block.
Yeah, center
Yeah,
block.
I think it's the.
So I was just like waiting for something
Right.
at the music for my guy or something. I said, and I played. I was like, wow, this. It doesn't like feel like a Gretsch. It feels different. It feels like more like a Gibson,
Right.
but still a Gretsch. And I had no idea how it sounded. Like
Yeah.
I just like loved the way that it sounded like a
Yeah.
acoustic. And I think I just brought it home. I don't know if I just paid it straight away. Like this is I'm gonna have this one, and I've been using it every gig since I bought it in 2014 or something.
Right. So kind of turn out to be your main guitar.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
your go-to
It's
guitar.
like I love it. It looks fucking
Yeah, it
really
looks
good,
beautiful,
and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
It's different from what I had before, but I like it. I had other Gretsch. I have a Silverjet as well, but we can't become friends.
So,
Like-
since you said, you just love the sound and everything about the guitar right away, I suppose the question if you changed the pickups or if their stock is obsolete, it's probably the same pickups, right?
yeah, it's all original. Yeah.
Do you modify your guitars at all?
Yeah, I did. I have modified a gold top, a 56 reissue,
Right.
that I put this piezo acoustic simulator thing on. So unfortunately we fucked around a little bit too much with it. We haven't really destroyed so much, but it's like this Slash model that you can like switch to an acoustic simulator
right, yeah.
piezo microphone that is in the bridge.
Right,
I think
okay.
it's called, yeah.
So do you have like two outputs, like two output jacks?
Yeah,
then,
no,
or-
it's one, but one stereo output.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
and you
and I
just
I
switched-
have like a PRS that is like that, but they have two outputs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was fun for a while. We used it mainly for a song called Abandon, where I switched from acoustic to electric guitar.
It's way easier then.
Yeah, but now I have a clean electric sound instead when we do this live tour here.
Yeah. So about your amps, I saw you play the Blackstar 1 series.
Yeah,
That's correct,
yeah.
right? And you brought two 100 watt heads
Yeah.
with a power soak. So at how much, how many watts do you go?
I start at 10, 20, and I usually go up to 70 during the gig.
All right.
That's why I even ask on soundcheck, is it okay if I double the watt?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, because
all right.
Yeah, because it's like I really like that feature on these. That I started to work with Blackstar mainly of what do you call it? Yeah, but they offered me a good deal,
Right.
and I was so sick and tired of my old Marshall heads that had been too
like
many.
an endorsement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got really close with Joel, who runs Blackstars from the UK.
Joel, yeah.
Yeah, very nice guy, and the Swedish distributor of it, and they provided me with all this stuff. I was like, fuck, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
And I really liked because there was such a. I had a lot of modified Marshall heads, and I sold them all.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
they were tired. They were tired. I was tired of them, and I didn't really know what to go with them anymore. They were like modified to
So
live
you
it.
totally switched to Blackstar.
Yeah, totally
and-
switched to Blackstar because I heard about it, and also it was like I just felt I needed a clean start with something
Yeah.
new. And then there was this, hey, we have this like you can change the watt from like 10 to 100. So I was like, wow, cool. What's that? And that's my favorite bottom.
And I might be mistaken, but I believe Blackstar were the first to introduce that.
Really?
Like,
Oh, okay.
I believe so. Like on a
Yeah.
major array. At least I noticed it first a couple years back.
Okay.
A couple years
Yeah.
back on Blackstar. They were advertising that. So, it's probably not right, but that's how I remember it.
Probably not, but
I'm really good on promoting my brands that I work with, but I suck on explaining what it is. So
No worries.
it's like, but I tell you, there's another knob that I learned that it's supposed to, if you go all the way to the right, it's supposed to be a British metal sound. If you go all the way to the left, it's supposed to be more American metal sound. And I have it somewhere in between, and it's also really
Black
funny
Sabbath
enough.
that, right?
Yeah, right. That's why it's called. My friend.
Stefan is like, he knows that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but like those two features on it, I really like. Otherwise, it's just like really simple. You know, what I do is that I play through the Warm Clean channel.
Yeah.
And I use a Mad Professor Bluebird distortion pedal with built-in delay.
Right.
Because I love delay, and and I don't think they make them anymore. So I'm on the hunt all the time, buying up if I find a Mad Professor Bluebird with the delay.
Right.
You know, they're really expensive, but they're really good pedals. I think I have two with me, you know, in case one fucks up. Because that's my sound on that little pedal.
Is that like a Swedish thing?
Yeah.
It's like all the.
Oh, you mean the pedal is Swedish also?
I mean the HM2. You remember the Boss Heavy Metal 2? Like all the Japan origins were bought by the guys of I don't know N2 and whatnot, and they are so hard to find.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was like when we started to play, the only pedal you were like allowed to have was like either the DS1, the distortion pedal, the Boss distortion, the orange one, or the black heavy metal.
Right.
You know, I even had a backpack of a Boss heavy metal pedal.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of shirts with that too. Like all the grindcore bands got that.
Yeah. I got 2 or 3 DS1s at home, but I have no heavy metal.
Yeah.
And 2 bought them all. Yeah.
I actually just found one a couple of weeks back.
Really?
My roommate owned one, and we found that in the cellar. And I was like, "Is it a Japan original?" I don't know. My dad gave it to me like years back. I was like, "Oh my god!" You know, now it sits in our kitchen, and
but those I love Boss pedals. They're like really. I have
really reliable.
I just actually was bidding on eBay on these equalizers for the guitars. Like really, because I used it on acoustic guitar.
They're really cool too.
Yeah, really good pedals.
I think. Didn't you have one of those on your board?
Yeah,
this one's
right.
Like the acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I use it for the acoustic guitar.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It goes. My sound guy complains a little bit because it's almost distorting the sound a little bit.
Right.
But of course, that's about how much output you have. But I like this kind of like, you know,
like if you scoop them.
Yeah, but it's like it gets. I don't know, something edgy, because sometimes a lined acoustic guitar, especially in ears, sounds like.
Give me 1 second, dude. Is the other camera still rolling? Because I'm concerned about that. Sorry, man. Sometimes. All right, cool, perfect. So yeah, about pedals, like your favorite pedal. I mean, supposedly a delay pedal now.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Well, you kind of went ahead.
I have the inbuilt delay on the Mad Professor Bluebird, and I also have another delay. That I have on also when I do the clean sound, because obviously then the delay from the Mad Professor pedal is not on.
But do you change your pedals on your live board in general a lot, or do they?
No, I've been having the same for a long time. I'm traveling around with a wah-wah pedal that I don't use, and it's just a thing that it's. Yeah, everyone hates me for it because it's weights, you know. We try to cut down on weight when we fly, but I have it. And the thing is, like, if you take it away, I need to do so much changes on the pedal board, and I'm just lazy and I don't want to. So I have a wah-wah pedal with me. Just if I get a feeling on the sound check, I might play it, but not live.
That's the most rock and roll reason to bring a pedal ever. I just
but it's too much hassle to rearrange everything.
Right, and probably change the sound, right? You know,
maybe,
you don't know. Yeah. You know, that's got to be the reason for your sound. Hey, it will totally change everything.
Exactly.
It's going to be your problem.
Hell yeah, but you know John Norum from Europe.
Come again?
John Norum, guitarist of Europe.
Oh yeah.
Final Countdown, Europe, yeah. And this is a true story. He has his backline tech to go to a certain store to buy a certain brand of batteries for his belt pack for the guitar.
Really?
Yeah, and it cannot be bought from another store. The same brand, but it's from one specific store.
Okay, that's voodoo, man, if you ask me.
And he is 100% sure that it sounds better.
Wow.
Can't argue with a guitar guru.
Yeah, well.
So he goes and buys Duracell batteries, whatever it is, at a certain store in a certain town, whatever, in part of Stockholm.
That's brown M&Ms,
like boxes and boxes of them for tour, because that's the only batteries he can use.
That's brown M&Ms.
Of course, there's like stuff happens to your gear, and they have a sound in it after a while. So
sure. So, anything to add at this point, gear-wise, or anything
No,
else?
I mean, as I said, I'm good on promoting all the stuff that I love to work with and stuff. But I'm really I'm technically I suck on it.
Oh, you do.
And I also I used to love to play guitar because I use it as my songwriting instrument.
Right.
I never ever sit down and practice guitar because I find it really boring. I wish I was so much better. I follow a lot of guitar cheeks, like really crazy guitarists on Instagram and stuff, and I can see like, wow, how do you do that? But like, I guess it's just
whatever.
yeah, but I mean, it's just like anything. It takes a lot of practice,
Sure.
and I hate to practice, and I only learn as much as I need to learn to write new songs.
Yeah, well, it works for you,
Yeah.
So never change the running system, never change
No,
the battery
exactly.
out of a certain store or something.
Exactly.
Well, Nicke,
Yeah.
sorry, Nicke. Then thanks a lot for taking the time and
No
for
problem.
having us. And have a good concert and
Thank
have
you.
a good tour.
Thank you.
Und damit sind wir raus für heute. Das war unser Backyard Babies Backline Video und Besprechung. Eine ganze Menge Bs. Schaltet wieder ein und ihr wisst ja, Abo etc. alles da lassen. Macht's gut, Leute. Danke. Ciao.
Auf Wiedersehen.